Live pictures coming to us from Ankara, Turkey. You are looking at Air Force One, its door wide open, the stairs there ready for President Trump to deplane and meet a delegation there on the ground ahead of the NATO summit. We've got CBS News intelligence and national security reporter Olivia Gazis on the phone. She is also there, having landed in Turkey a short time ago. Olivia, good morning. What does this mean to everyone watching at home? What are the goals President Trump has as soon as he arrives?
Earl, it's great to be with you by phone. As you said, President Trump is arriving here right now. We are waiting for him to deplane. And one central overarching goal of his here will be to keep up the pressure on European allies to shoulder more of the burden of the NATO alliance's collective defense. At last year's summit, there was a commitment made by most countries to spend 5% of GDP on defense by 2035. This year, NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte said is going to be about presenting clear, concrete, and credible plans for how they are actually going to meet that spending goal. President Trump is also expected to meet with Ukrainian President Zelensky in an effort to chart a course forward for that conflict, which is going to be an area of central focus for European leaders who are seeking to project out of this summit a strong, united front amid these intensifying concerns that Russian President Vladimir Putin may soon attempt some sort of a small incursion into a NATO country in order exactly to test the alliance's resolve. Among the discussions here, also a major focus is expected to be the still unresolved. Oh, and there you see President Trump has just deplaned and is going to go down now to meet the Turkish delegation with whom he is expected to also discuss the unresolved standoff with Iran, and in particular security in the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump is expected to press allies across the board to take a larger role in safeguarding freedom of navigation in that shipping lane, which is of critical importance to European and global energy markets, of course, across the world.
Olivia Gazis is on the phone from Ankara, Turkey, close to where President Trump has just deplaned from Air Force One, walking along a blue carpet that the hosts have laid out for him as he meets with the Turkish delegation there. Olivia, you've just run through some of the major topics the president will want to tackle while he's there. His hosts even, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdoğan also wants some F-35 fighter jets from the U.S., and I believe that's him there welcoming the president to the country. Is that an issue you expect to be pushed as well?
Absolutely. The president, before coming here, said one of the main reasons that he even is coming here, of course, NATO summits have not been his favorite events of the year, but the fact that Turkey and President Erdoğan are the hosts this year was a significant factor in compelling the president to make this trip overseas. He is starting this visit off with a bilateral meeting with Erdoğan, no doubt an effort to start the entire summit off on constructive footing, because he does have a positive working relationship with the Turkish president, as well as the NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, who are two leaders who are really going to be key to smoothing over differences that exist between President Trump and other European leaders. There have been some significant transatlantic relationships that are currently in need of some TLC, among them the president's relationship with German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, who previously said the U.S. was being humiliated in Iran in the course of that conflict. And those comments seem to prompt the sudden U.S. announcement that it would withdraw 5,000 troops that had been based in Germany. More recently, of course, there was the flare-up between President Trump and Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, as well as these lingering tensions between the U.S. and Spain over Spain's resistance to boost its defense spending, as well as its resistance to offering access to naval bases that would have been in support of U.S. operations in Iran. So you'll see Erdoğan really projecting himself and propelling himself into the center of these discussions in an effort to make them as smooth and productive as possible. And of course, as you mentioned, in return, he is hoping to score that win of access to the coveted F-35 program, something that had been complicated by his prior purchase of a Russian missile defense system that basically rendered him ineligible to access the F-35.
Olivia Gazis speaking with us from Ankara, Turkey, over the phone as we watch President Trump being warmly greeted by Recep Tayyip Erdoğan there on the ground and speaking with ambassadors and other key dignitaries. What's striking me at the moment, Olivia, is this is quite an intimate welcome. The Turkish leader is close to the president. He's staying by his side. He's now ushering him into a building there. What is their relationship? What do we know about how close they just might be, considering they do want strategically, politically, things from one another?
It's true. The president has spoken in very positive terms about President Erdoğan in the past. He has praised him. He has acknowledged, of course, that he is something of a strongman leader, something that in the past had been problematic, at least for European partners who had criticized some of Turkey's democratic backsliding, its crackdowns on political activism, on journalists, on political opponents here. Less of a factor now that there are in the forefront these more urgent conflicts that the Europeans are hoping for American support to address. A key among them, of course, is the ongoing conflict in Ukraine that is, again, expected to be a central focus during the course of this summit, as well as a resolution to that standoff with Iran. But the relationship with Turkey, I think President Trump has extolled in the past, and as we were discussing, has even mentioned it as a key reason why he has made the overseas trip in order to meet with other NATO leaders over the course of this summit.
All right, Olivia Gazis, kicking off our coverage of President Trump's arrival at a NATO summit there in Turkey. We understand he may, after this bilateral with the Turkish leader, take some questions from the press. We will bring you updates this hour and throughout the morning on CBS News 24/7 as this diplomatic event gets underway. Olivia, thank you very much. We'll reconnect with you soon.